are group number 4, and we are going to be talking about the article Redox-Driven Mineral and Organic Associations in Jezero Crater, Mars. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so starting off with our introduction, um, so the rover has been exploring Jezero Crater Bright Angel Formation within entering Nevada Vales. Um, the river investigated by the rover is distinctive mudstones and columnate rocks. So those are the things that the rover is trying to get data and information from. Within information gathered of the geologic of the rocks, the information was as follow: geological, petrographic, and geochemical surveys revealing that these rocks contain a sub-millimetry scale nodules, which basically means tiny, less than 1 millimeter of measurement of organic carbon, iron phosphates, and sulfide minerals, likely vinavate and gregonate. um, these reactions happen likely to low temperature environments. With these studies, scientists can review redox reaction pathways involving organic matter that can produce iron, sulfur, and phosphate minerals in labs and Earth environments. So in conclusion, what is this is telling us is scientists are analyzing the samples brought from the rover with high sensitivity instruments to reveal the measurements to determine the origin of minerals here on Earth. So the outer scale observation. So the key findings from this specific section are as follow. Bright Angel Formation consists of meteor scale blocks created by fracturing and physical weathering. RIMFAX GPR profiles shows layer structures of apparent dip angles from horizontal up to 30 degrees near the margin unit. This is basically just like an instrument used to measure. The Bright Angel Formation appears to be subdivided into concave upwards of flat-laying bodies of layered rocks within Nevada Valley's channels. Bright Angel Formation outcrop is visible in the Beaver Falls. The planetary instruments were used for X-ray scanning environments. The instruments included that of Sherlock, Watson, SuperCam, and Mastcam. Um, they analyze rocks containing Chavam Falls and Apollo Temple, and a core sample called Sapphire Canyon. Rocks collected demonstrated a reddish tan color. Recessive layers are separated by thin, lighter layers. Above are a darker tone rocks with a coarse, grainy texture in the site of the Steamboat Mountain. Bright Angel outcrop contains diverse wind-fluted, massive centrometer scale nodal, layered, and colored rocks. Now moving on towards the petrographic relationship, key findings in this section are as follows. Despite the diversity of rocks, they all contain fine grain component or facies that make up its volume. Grains are not visible through Watson or Sherlock, which may include less than 30 to 110 micrometers in diameters, which is finer than sand. The Masonic temple contains a matrix made of mudstones, as well as millimeter century scale clast. Mud facies are red, tan, or whitish gray, which are apparent in visible light collected by Mastcam Z or Mastcam Z, sorry. Masonic temple rocks contain more ferric ions. Targets from Bright Angel indicate less ferric ions, so they are tan to whitish gray color. The NIR, right, indicates Bright Angel rocks are weakly dehydrated, especially compared to rocks from Western Fan. The NIR cannot attribute specific minerals, but they include phos phos fossilate, clay, and opaline silica. The last bit of key findings are organic matter organic matter detected in Bright Angel Mudstone's target Chavana Falls, Walhalla Glades, and Apollo Temple. This was found through Sherlock based on the approximately 1,600 centimeter G band. In the Raman spectra, G band is the most intense. Apollo, then in Walhalla Glades, and none in Masonic Temple. Apollo Temple has strong fluorescence consisting of organic matter. Bright Angel mudstones are rich in silicon dioxide, aluminum oxide, and iron oxide, or in magnesium oxide and Mn. PIXL analysis show it contains low intensity diffraction peaks indicating crystal domain size 40 to 60 micrometers. Analyzing diffraction peaks detect calcium sulfate veins and nodules in 3 targets. Glypans and anhydrite were found in small scales. Overland sand grains and iron magnesium carbonate were observed in Chival Falls and Steamboat Mountain. Mixing mudstones, olivine carbonate, and Ca sulfate were coarse crystals. Olivine contains and mudstones come in contact show that there is no connection between mudstones that have been recrystallized by interaction with these minerals, meaning olivine is a deuterial phase. Steamboat Mountain Steamboat Mountain had olivine carbonate and Ca sulfur rather than mudstones, and no organic matter was found.
Okay, and so my first section was the exploration of reaction mechanisms, and these are the key findings from that section. Chemical and sediment data show that reduced and oxidized Fe bearings sediments formed authigenic nodules during diagenesis, and phosphate associated with Fe sediments, not Mn minerals, formed under reducing non-oxidizing conditions. Vivianite nodules likely formed via organic matter oxidation, which reduced Fe3 plus to Fe2 plus and released phosphate. Low temperature microbially driven reactions likely contributed to FePS cycling. Sulfide reduction may have produced Fe sulfides such as greigite and pyrite. Repeated sulfidation stabilized Zn in nodules. There also is indication that a hybrid Fe and S reducing mechanism consistent with biotic or abiotic redox processes. And lastly, reaction fronts resemble Earth-like reduction halos, which are possible biosignatures. And the Bright Angel Formation formed in sedimentary, water-rich, habitable environments supporting redox-driven mineralization. Okay. And then my next section is the provenance and dispositional environments. The Bright Angel outcrop, interpreted as mudstones deposited from suspension forming layered and massive beds. Major element and spectroscopic data show chemical weathering and oxidation with Si, Al, Fe3+ enrichment, and Mg and Mn depletion. There is also indication of formation under oxidizing conditions, unlike Fe and Mg-rich sedimentary rocks from the Western Fan. There's also fine-grained mudstone layers interbedded with coarser olivine-bearing carbonate mudstones reflecting variable energy conditions. Also, there is poorly sorted mixed lithologies and fine-grained textures, which suggest low energy suspension settling in a water-influenced environment. There is also coarser beds and conglomerates formed by episodic debris or energetic currents. And overall, Bright Angel sediments likely originated from chemically weathered terrestrial sources and were deposited in calm, aqueous environments punctuated by higher energy flows. And then this is the image that I generated to represent the article that we talked about today. And I think that is all that we have. So thank you for watching.